There's a guy who's a Caltech professor who makes a whole bunch of money inventing things. And he's a brilliant man, but he's also, as they say, a borderline nutcase. And he builds the mother of all fallout shelters in his backyard at a time in the 60s when fallout shelters were getting built all over the place. But this guy really gets himself the Taj Mahal of bomb shelters. And during the Cuban Missile Crisis, he and his wife, of course, retired to their bomb shelter because Kennedy's on TV talking about warheads and missiles and Miami blowing up and going toe-to-toe with Khrushchev. So they go down there, and a Navy jet that's running into trouble crashes in their backyard. And he thinks that's been a nuclear explosion, and they lock themselves in there for 35 years. A bit of a slip-up. And they have a child. She's pregnant when they go down, and that child is born, and after 35 years, he rises and goes up into modern-day Los Angeles. I like the way the whole culture of the 60s just collided with the culture of the 90s and all the comic kind of observations that would come from that type of thing. Christopher Walken and Sissy Spacek is an absolute scream. I mean, Ozzie and Harriet on acid. But yeah, and when I wanted them, everybody said, "Wow, those aren't comedy actors." You know what they are is just Academy Award-winning actors, and who I think can do anything, and is clear in this that they're brilliant. They're really funny. Sissy is an old friend of mine, so I'm excited because I always thought she could do comedy, and I'm really excited that I've had a little part in maybe exposing the rest of us to that notion. I think Brendan is a big part of why this movie's getting made, because he had such a huge success with George of the Jungle, and the New Line saw that, and when he responded to the script and said he wanted to do it, everybody was hats and horns, because that was just that. And that's, as you know, how leads usually wind up starring in a movie, is depending on how much heat they have at the time or whatever, and he's hot as a firecracker, and so it was our great good luck to get him. Turns out he's also an exceptionally good actor and a pleasure to be around. He falls in love with her immediately. Of course, he's been waiting for 20 years to meet a girl. He's just really lucky that he meets such a special one. Falls in love with her immediately, and she's kind of this seen it all LA chick, and she winds up kind of looking after him, and gradually falls in love with him. I mean, we know they're going to fall in love. The question is, my gosh, why on earth would she fall in love? Would this hip LA chick fall in love with a guy who's wearing a sport coat made from his mother's bedspread? That's the real question.